Bow. Good morning, everyone. This is your man, Mark Fuller. Welcome to the Free World Order. Another beautiful morning here in New York City. Before I get into my topic for the day, I want to thank everyone for liking us on Facebook, for subscribing to the YouTube channel, and for joining us with monthly contributions towards helping us raise $1 billion in order to build the first resource-based city in the world. If you believe in this direction, join us with $1 a month and help us to raise $1 billion in order to build the first city. To get it built basically means that we'll have the blueprint for what we can do as far as creating a resource-based society where we do not use money anymore. The first city is going to be instrumental in creating the blueprint for setting up that paradigm as we move forward into the future. And that actually leads me into the topic for today. What is a resource-based economy? I'm going to talk about that. I want to go into more detail with it because many people are unfamiliar with this direction. The way that we live right now, we're using what is called a monetary system, money. And the problem with money is that it breeds corruption within our society. What I mean by that is money is distributed in a way that is disproportionate. Notice how you have rich people and you have poor people in society, right? In many places in the world, you have people that are not even living up to the standard of poor people in westernized countries. We'll say America, for example. In other words, the poor people in America live way better than people that are living in third world countries where they don't even have clean water and food to eat every day. So it's all relative. However, the monetary system in general operates everywhere in this world. And in every country, there is a monetary system. There's some type of currency being used that people use to buy goods and services in that country. Again, the problem with money is the distribution of money. It is so disproportionate that you have a very small group of people with tremendous excessive amounts of wealth, and then the majority of people don't have what they need to even live a standard of living that they can maintain. In other words, for example, here in America, most people are 1 or 2 paychecks away from being behind in their bills, from having a negative bank account, from going into debt and owing money. They don't have the necessary income in order to sustain them in every circumstance. If there's a problem with you health-wise and you have to take time off from your job, that interrupts your income, ultimately interrupting your standard of living. Anytime your standard of living is interrupted, it means that you have to figure out a way to get by. And this is what money causes. It causes these types of problems. It also causes other problems where you have corruption that takes place. People can be bought off. If most people are living a meager, low standard of living, people can get anyone in that situation to do damn near anything for the right price. This leads to corruption. Things can happen in our society because people can be paid off. Politicians can be paid off. People that live in, normal society every day can be paid off to do horrible, horrific things in exchange for money. And this is the problem. Now, what a resource-based economy does is you see that the technology that we're having being introduced to us, frequently. Think about how often new phones are released, for example. How often are new cars manufactured? Are the cars improving? Are televisions getting better? Yes to all of the above. You have all of these advances in technology that is showing you and revealing to you human ingenuity is not stopping at all. People who are creative and people who are technical are finding ways to improve on everything that it is that we already have. The problem is that we have a monetary based system. So anything that you want to get, you need money to buy it with. So money is attached to consumerism. What keeps the monetary system going is when we buy things from the mall, from the stores, right? This feeds the monetary system. It encourages capitalism. So when people want to get a business of some type, if you raise enough capital, you can get a business. But how do you go about raising capital? So all of these different variables take place within the confines of a monetary-based system. A resource-based system is so far beyond that we are now looking at a situation where instead of relying on the distribution of money and it to be so disproportionate where you have a few people with so much wealth and then everybody else is barely getting by in society. You don't have that anymore. With the resource-based economy, we intelligently manage the resources of the earth in a way that combines science and technology along with the resources that we need in order to produce everything that we want to have in our society. And we take it and we produce everything that people require and desire to have at a high level, like an extremely high level, whatever it is that is in demand. Like people that are advocates of capitalism, they look at things in terms of, well, if you use the free market enterprise system, what it is that people want creates the demand, and then an entrepreneur comes along and meets that demand. They supply that demand in the marketplace in exchange for money and basically in order to generate a profit at the end of producing whatever that product is that people want to have. So the desire that people have creates the demand, and then entrepreneurs meet those demands by supplying whatever that product is to the consumer. That's how free market enterprise and capitalism works. All right, we understand that. Now, is it the best system to use? No. Is money the best system to use? Absolutely not. We just went into the way that money allows people to be corrupted. A resource-based system off the top. First of all, the high science and the high technology that we have now, instead of it being patented and it belonging to individual people or to corporations, it becomes the common heritage of all human beings, all of our society, everyone in our society. The resources of the planet, science, technology is all the common heritage of us all. So who owns it? We all own it collectively because we all benefit from it collectively. You see what I'm saying? It's not set up in a way where only a few people are benefiting and profiting from these ideas and from these new technologies and advancements that are introduced to us in society through the manufacturing and the production of products that we want to have in our society. Human ingenuity is something that we have inherently. A lot of people think that, well, money drives incentive. If you take money away and people don't have to work on a job, they won't have incentive to do anything. That is absolutely false. Because you had human ingenuity, most of the time it comes from people that don't have money. So what's the incentive for somebody that doesn't have any money? You see what I'm saying? We're talking about, instead of using money, we utilize the resources of our planet intelligently and efficiently by combining it with the science and the technology that we have up to date in real time. Meaning that the best that we have available right now is what is going to drive what it is that we produce. So in the system that we're in now, it's not profitable to introduce something unless you can earn a profit from it. Meaning, corporations will not produce something that they can't generate a profit from. They look at the cost to produce it, and then they add on whatever their margin is that they would like to earn from producing that product. If they can't produce a significant margin or a significant profit, they will not manufacture whatever that product is, even if that product is something that people need. It could be a cure for a disease. If the pharmaceutical corporations cannot generate the profit that they desire to have from putting out that cure, they will not produce it. As a matter of fact, pharmaceuticals in this paradigm and in this system will not cure anything. They would rather treat it with medicine, because by giving you a drug, the drug is going to relieve whatever the condition is to some degree, but it will also create side effects, which will lead to other problems. And then they'll give you a drug for the problems that the side effects have created. And guess what this does for the pharmaceutical company? It continuously drives the production of the medication and the drugs that are making them the most profit. They make more money off of giving you chemicals and drugs for cancer than they would make by putting money into the research to cure cancer. It's not profitable for them to cure the disease. It's more profitable for them to keep the disease and just treat it, to keep you buying the drug that will treat the disease. We don't want to cure you. We just want to treat you and keep you on the pill, because that's going to continue to drive our profitability as a corporation. So what that leads to is never a situation where the concern of human beings is first. It's never people before profits within this system. Within a monetary-based system, you will never have that. You will always have profits before people. PBP, profits before people, is what you will always see manifested within a monetary-based system. The resource-based system flips all of it around, because now when there is something discovered like a cure, that cure will be released to people as it becomes available. We're not looking to treat people anymore. We're looking to cure people from disease, to give people access to healthy life, the best of foods, the best of living conditions as far as the materials that we use in, housing, fireproof materials. Instead of looking to put a Band-Aid on a problem, we actually solve the problem by building the technology into the solution for the problem. So as an example, our transportation systems in our society, we have cars, right? Automobiles. People get into accidents every day. You need insurance, car insurance. That insurance within this monetary system is a huge industry. It's a big business. In a resource-based system, we won't need insurance. You know why? Because the technology will be built into automobiles where there won't be any more accidents. We build the technology into automobiles that bypasses accidents. Period. Instead of telling people to drive safely, you build the technology into these cars so that cars won't collide with each other. And if there is any type of accident that takes place, the inside of the vehicle has airbags inside the whole vehicle, not just an airbag in front by the steering wheel. You build the technology into the actual automobile. We can have so much more technology already in existence with a resource-based economy, because there's no need to hold back technology because it's not profitable for a corporation. In other words, now you have a situation where technology is only released if it's profitable, if it's able to generate a profit for the company that is introducing a product with that technology in it. Like phones become available and we look at these phones, every new phone that comes out is more and more advanced. It's doing more and more things. It's faster. It's more efficient. The cameras are better. You don't think that they had that technology already sitting on the shelf? They already had the technology already there sitting on the shelf. They didn't release it until it was profitable for them to actually generate a profit. Then the technology is released. We won't have that in a resource-based economy. So our transportation systems will be greatly improved. Cars will be able to drive themselves. You won't have to drive a car. So if someone had too much to drink, they could never get into an accident because they won't drink and drive, because the car will take them home. The car can be programmed to bring them back to their home. The technology can be built into the vehicle. All of these solutions to the problems that we have now in our current society within a monetary-based system, all of those problems, for the most part, will be eliminated. Because the science is already here, the technology is already here. So that means that we have not only the knowledge, but the way to apply that knowledge into the things that we actually produce. That's why it's science and technology combined with resources. The way resource-based economy works is they take surveys of not only the resources that are available, but surveys of what it is that people actually want. And whatever it is that people want, that's what will be produced in abundance. So we produce more than what people actually want to have. That way, when you go to access whatever it is that you want, there's so much of it available that there's no need for you to steal. There's no need for you to be jealous of others. There's no need for you to want to have something that someone else has, but you don't have access to, because you have access to everything that it is that you want to have. Again, surveys are taken the same way that in the current system that we use now. How do they know that a product is something that people want? They might do a market study in advance, market research. They'll find out, do people want this or they want that, or how do they prefer to have it? Do they want it like this? And then after they do that market research, then they generate, whatever the product is. Then they manufacture whatever that product is based on what people have already indicated that they want from that product. Or that product is serving a purpose, or that product is solving a problem. We can do all of these things at such a high level. The production level can be so high in a resource-based economy, and there's no money used. So instead of you having to pay for that car that you want to have, you just go access the car. Go get it. What kind of car do you want to drive? What color? How do you want it to look? All of these things. Computers are able to handle all of these bits and pieces of information. Trillions of bits of information can be handled by a computer. No human being is capable of doing that. Look at when you guys get a chance, look at a video on like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, and how they produce so many bottles of their product on a daily basis. Is it human beings doing that? Absolutely not. It's robotics. It's automated. So automation is also a part of the resource-based economy. Most of the things that people do today that are dangerous for human beings will be completely automated. Just like I broke down just now how technology should and can be built into automobiles so that there are no more accidents. You'll never have a car potentially running into a child on the sidewalk. You'll never have a car jumping the curb, hitting an old lady standing on the sidewalk. You won't have cars potentially driving into pedestrians, period. All of those things will be avoided because the solution is built into the technology, and that technology is built into the product that we're using. That's a resource-based economy. So now you guys have a better understanding of why I advocated so heavily. I talk about this all the time. This is what I've dedicated myself to getting people to become aware of. That's why I created the Free World Order. That's why I built this platform. That's why if you all believe in this direction, join us with a monthly contribution. Join us with $1 a month. The reason that I use $1 a month is because it's painless. That's not hurting anybody financially. And I know already the more people are introduced to this direction, the more people are going to see that, yeah, this makes way more sense than what it is that we're doing now. We'll actually live so much better, and everyone can live better and have a high standard of living if we move in that direction of a resource-based economy. We'll never have that in the monetary system. A monetary system is going to keep people enslaved and being subservient to a system that you really cannot escape being at the bottom of. Very few people push their way and manipulate their way up to the top within a monetary based system. How many rich people are out there? Think about it. The 300 richest people in the world have the equivalent amount of wealth and money as the poorest 3 billion people. What is that telling you about the system that we're using? That reveals it all right there. So, monetary-based system is not for human beings. It served its purpose at one time when it was connected to actual resources like gold and silver and things that have value. It made more sense, but it's not connected to that anymore. Now it's nothing but debt. All it is a way for the richest people in the world to continue to extract the wealth and to maintain their riches. That's all it is. So the longer that we continue to cooperate with this monetary based system, more of the same we're going to see. That's why it's so important for you all to share this information, share these videos. I talk shit and I'm a regular dude. I'm not some genius that went to school. I'm not, I'm not a part of academia. I didn't go to college. I didn't do any of that shit. I'm self-educated. Information is readily available to us today. We have Google. We got, access to information and things that are out there. The Venus Project, Jacques Fresco put 78 years into redesigning what our society can look like using science and technology and intelligently managing the resources of our planet. Clean energy, clean water, clean air, clean food, clean. That's not what we're doing now. Right now, we're polluting the air. We're polluting the oceans. Why do you think people are so sick all the time? We're still using carbon fuels. You don't think that has an effect on human beings? It absolutely does. It's the reason why people are so sick, especially in the inner cities, because the inner cities are filled with pollution. We can be using clean energy that doesn't pollute at all. Totally clean. No emissions. No carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere, fucking up the ozone layer. No pollution coming into our lungs, poisoning our body. No more of that. We already have the technology. We already have the science. And now we have, through the Venus Project, the foundation to actually begin building the resource-based economy, starting with that first city. So that's what I'm here for through the Free World Order. And if you believe in this direction, join us with $1 a month. That's going to help us to raise that first $1 billion that we need in order to build the first city. And once we have the first city in place, it'll be like dominoes. It'll have the domino effect because people will see that this is the direction that we can move in, and we can improve the life of human beings on our planet, everywhere on the planet. Not just boom and bust, rich and poor, this middle class bullshit. No more classes. No more none of that shit. They want to keep, and inside of this system, the creators of money and the people that are at the top of this society financially, they want to keep people distracted, getting you to think about social, racial bullshit. They're keeping us distracted through the media with the bullshit. What we should be focused on is, how can we improve the life of every person on the planet? Do we really actually hate one another because of our skin color? I don't think that we do. They want to keep black and white fighting and going back and forth while people are doing that in society. We're all in the same boat together. You have to think about that. Think about it. How many white people out there right now, out of all the millions of white people in America, are rich? Think about that. So it's not a black and white thing. It's a rich and a poor thing. And the more people that they keep at the bottom of the system, the more wealth that they will continue to extract from the planet, utilizing the masses of people within this system that is keeping it going. So a monetary system is not what it is that we need to be using. And when we realize that collectively, we're going to want to bail out of this monetary system. I already know that. That's why I'm so far ahead of the game. I put out videos every day, talking about this shit. Because I already know what it's going to be. I know what people desire to have in their heart. You really don't want to have to work on a job that you don't want to go to every day. You don't want to have to be subjected to dealing with social and, all of this bullshit that goes on just within society that's perpetuated through money. It's all perpetuated through money and classes. And all of that is created by a monetary system. So if we transition into a different way of doing things, and we desire to have that, we're millions of people. The few rich people that control everything in this society, their time is about to be up. They're not going to continue to be in power because people are going to wake up. And it's the small things that we do. That's why I tell you guys $1 a month. That's such a small thing that becomes such a huge thing when we do it and we work together collectively. Think about it. There's 325 million people in America. What if 100 million of us put $1 a month towards building resource-based cities? We start with the first one, and then we just continue to keep going. Eventually, we're going to transition our way out of using money completely, because our cities will be based on the resources that we're using to produce for the people that live there. We can already have that in place right now. The conditions that people are living in create their behavior. So the reason that we see such fucked up behavior is because the conditions people are living in is fucked up. It's that simple. So we want to redesign the society and change the conditions that people live in. Their behavior will change. You'll notice people will start talking less and less about bullshit and nonsense and actually begin living life. This is not about black and white and what color you are, what part of the world you're from, what language you speak. It's not about none of that shit. We are all human beings on the same earth. We all have the same problems. Cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure, birth defects. All of these are human issues, human problems. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. We all share the same problems and the same pain, and we all have that in common. We also all have the desire to do beautiful and great things as well. So the stereotypes that come along with stuff, all of that is as a result of the behavior of people that are living in certain conditions. That's all it is. Your behavior reflects your culture. So if we redesign our culture and we begin to move in a direction that is beneficial for all of us, we will see the behavior of people change. It's the same way that psychopaths are created. They are created through the behavior as a result of the conditions that they're being exposed to. Culture, that's what creates behavior. So, I hope these videos are valuable, and I really hope that you guys share these videos more and more with people. I'm only one guy, but I'm speaking for a lot of people, because I know that many of you feel this way in your heart, that there's something better out there that we can be doing. There has to be a better way. I know that a lot of you are religious and you pray every day, hoping, wishing, and begging God to change your situation. But I can tell you right now, nobody's coming. Nobody's going to change it except for us. No one's going to change our situation on this planet other than human beings, because human beings fucked it up. Although it was a very small group and a few people that messed things up, we don't have to continue moving in that direction at all. If we move in a different direction, the rest are going to follow, because that's what most people do, is they follow. But we want you to follow the desires of your heart as a human being, because I believe that everyone really in their heart of hearts, wants the best for everyone else. You don't really want to see people suffer. And if you do, it's because you're sick, and you're sick as a result of things that you've been exposed to in your environment. And we can't really get to the bottom of your sickness by putting you in jail. We can't get to the bottom of why people are sick by locking them up. You're not going to rehabilitate anyone like that. We have to look at the root causes of these things, and give people the help that they really need. But we're only going to have that if we're not limited in our society. A monetary-based system is limiting us. Money is keeping us trapped and enslaved. And we need to break the chain. Got to break it. That's the only way that we'll become free. That's why this is the free world order.